Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Bhupesh. Uh, so today we'll be taking a new topic altogether into the Kubernetes playlist. So we'll be discussing about what is an ingress controller and how we can implement an ingress controller into our Kubernetes cluster. So if you have not liked and subscribed this channel, please do that so that you can get list of videos that we are going to create in future, and maybe you can check all the playlists that are available for related to DevOps and Kubernetes. Okay, so let's get started onto this ingress controller subject on this. So a quick recap: what we have done is in this entire playlist, we have initially started with Kubernetes architecture understanding, and then we saw what are pods, services, and deployments. And then further, we saw what is the difference between deployment and the stateful set for a stateless and stateful applications. And then important topic, the RBAC in Kubernetes is very, very important, you know, uh, video where we saw rollback access controls in Kubernetes. And then we saw what are the demos set and how we can leverage persistent volume and persistent volume claim, config map and secrets. Today we'll be just looking into the Ingress controller, and we'll see with the help of examples. Quick understanding from figure, so you can see whenever we hit any particular application, we as the clients, so we normally ultimately get redirected to a particular endpoint, and it can be an if it's a cloud or Kubernetes based environment, it will go to a pod for that search service. Maybe the service 1, 2, 3, 4 are different allocated to a pod. Now in between, uh, there should be a load balancer, and that load balancer balances the load and will send the request according to all the services. So normally, the ingress is a kind of gateway which will and it will act as a load balancer also, that will accept their requests from clients, and then it will redirect services to all the different endpoints. Now the beauty of this single endpoint is you don't need to implement multiple ingress on your cluster. You can have only one ingress, and then ingress rules will decide that this client is want to access which particular endpoint. That we will see in a later stage of this video. And there are a lot of ingress controls available into the Kubernetes world, but the most popular one and the most widely used is Nginx ingress controller. So today we'll see how to install that Nginx ingress controller, and we'll try to understand how, with proper use cases, how we can do the rerouting of services from front end to the back end. So this is all about theory. I don't spend too much time in theory. Let's do quick certain examples. So there's a GitHub page also for this. So you can simply come here. I'll just posting this GitHub doc page into the video description. You can simply check out the below link. Okay, so this is the README documentation. We'll just see all those 5, 6 steps so that we can understand how it works. So let's quickly jump on this README. Okay, so we are starting with the uh, K3D Minikube cluster so that we can expose any service as a load balancer. So I'm not going to run this command because my cluster is already up and running. So you can see my cluster is running and it is having all these different namespaces. So I'll just skip this part. But if you really want to create a cluster, a Minikube cluster, you can simply run these commands into your Ubuntu box so that it can be or Linux box so that the Minikube cluster is up. Or if you're doing it onto your any cloud, that will also serve the purpose. Next, the very important thing, you need to install the ingress controller. Now, there are multiple methods to install this ingress controller, but I am using a Helm chart because this is fairly easy and straightforward thing. So what I'm doing, I'm just installing this Helm upgrade, install this release name, and it is pulling ingress from this official website of ingress, and then creating a namespace like this, and then updating this ingress controller. I mean, installing this ingress controller. So let me see, because I've already installed it, but still let me just uh, run it again for the sake of simplicity. So I can see that it is already deployed, the first revision, which was deployed a couple of days back. So I'll just run it again. So now it will upgrade the existing release that was there on my machine, and it will tell you that how you can create an ingress class. So we'll see this example. and how we can create a TLS based secrets also. We'll see all those things definitely in few minutes now. So you can see the revision has been second revision, which is recent timestamp. So now let me see the pods. The pods are up and running. Let me see the service. What this Helm chart will do, it will just create a service called as load balancer service. Now this is that load balancer I'm talking about. This load balancer will act in front of all your services, and then you can create ingress rules. Now ultimately, Ingress Helm chart has installed one pod and one service basically, and then it's a load balancer service. Since it is a Minikube cluster, so this is the external IP that is being tagged to this, right? In your Google Cloud or any other cloud, you will have a proper uh, DNS name, or you can say the external IP in that, for that matter. Fine. So my first step is done. I have my Nginx Ingress controller up and running, and I've already seen it. Let me just show you one more thing to port forwarding to this service. So that we should be able to second. Yeah. So now, so since why this is saying not found, because there's no routing as of done on this. So Nginx is properly installed, but since there is no routing, it is giving this kind of messages. Perfect. Now let me install certain pod with, the practical use case, and then let's see how it works. Okay, so first of all, we'll install our first demo application, and we'll see the practical implementation or usability of this Ingress controller. So I want to deploy this deployment.1.yaml file. Now, what does it contain? This contains a simple deployment, this hello app, which is regarding this metrics namespace, and with three replicas. Okay, and then you can simply come on this pulling this image actually, and it's creating another service on top of this pod. Okay, and it is actually running a service on port 80. So first of all, let me run this. This is an independent deployment, and exposing the deployment onto a service, and then we'll see how to use the ingress on top of it. So I'll go to this inside this folder, and then okay, okay, apply. I'm going to this KNS metrics namespace. Okay, okay, apply minus f deployment one. Fine. So this has created one deployment and a service. Let me see the deployment and service. So three pods are running, and one service must be running with pertaining to this. So hello service is running on port 80. So let me quickly see port forward of this service independently, so that I should be able to run it independently. Okay, so this service is up and running. Okay, on this port. Fine. Now this is a separate installation of first service. Now I'll use the first ingress. Now what does this ingress will do? This is the find ingress. So what I'm saying, and the specification of this install this ingress into the same namespace where is my service, so that there's no problem into the searching of that service. So the API version is networking. The ingress class name is Nginx, and then I'll talk about this host in a while. And this HTTP, this is the ruling mechanism, or you can say the routing paths, route path basically. So what I'm saying, please accept the HTTP request from this path with this backslash from this service, and whenever there's a hit on to our ingress controller, then this rule should follow. Okay, fine. So this is the kind of route that we need to create. Whenever anybody is hitting to that ingress load balancer, then it should backslash, then it should call my hello service, right? With this prefix. Prefix is nothing but anything which is prefix with this, then it will just simply call your this service, hello service. Perfect. So let me just run this piece, apply first ingress basically. Ingress, hopefully it's ingress1.ml. Okay, so ingress has been created. I'll just see get ingress. Okay, so test ingress is the name of my ingress. Fine, I'll just talk about that other ingress in some time so that you should not get confused. Okay, so this is my first ingress that I created sometime, a few minutes ago. So this will take some time to bring this address. This address will nothing will be your the load balancer IP. Let's see the logs from the ingress controller, where you will see the syncing. The syncing will happen so that it will be able to, yeah, yeah, the test ingress syncing is happening so that it will reload the configuration, and now hopefully it should get your key get ingress. See, now address is coming. So this address is nothing but your load balancer IP. Load balancer IP of your ingress controller. So what is happening? This service is being will be redirected whenever is anybody is hitting this load balancer IP with backslash. Okay. So let me run this curl of this guy, this IP, load balancer IP, and then sorry, and then slash. See, ultimately, what I have done, I'm just hit this load balancer IP with backslash, and then my hello service has been called. So this is the rerouting that is happening from ingress controller to your service. Fine. Now suppose this service is hosted on a particular host, then you can give the host name also. Currently it was locally, and then that is the importance of giving the host name. And then next step, this is the next step of providing a host to your service, so that your first of all load balancer will redirect to a host, and host will redirect to service, and ultimately this will be called. Now suppose this is an unsecured host, HTTP. Now you want to have a HTTPS secured host also, then you can provide the TLS secret. Okay, so that is something a little bit detailed topic. We'll take it to another video, but yeah. So first of all, I'm just trying to tell you the basic understanding of ingress controller, how it works, and then we'll take it to a secure one, and then we'll take it to the adding a secret for self sign, and then we'll have a let secret also. Fine. So this was the first deployment example. Let's see the second example. Yeah, second demo application. This will give a better picture. Now, second demo application, what we are doing, we are creating two deployments. One is AKS Hello World, one which is pulling an image, and it is running a container, and it is giving just a title like "Welcome to Azure Kubernetes Service," and then it is a service which is being deployed on this, deployment. And deployment 3 is nothing but another deployment which is called as AKS Hello World 2. It is giving a different title and running on different service. So basically two deployments with two different service. So let me run these two commands. So basically I'm creating two more deployments. Okay, this is deployment 2, and then this is deployment 3. Okay, so let's see. Let me delete this ingress which is already there so that you should not get confused with any other ingress. So currently I don't have any ingress. Okay, it's empty. So let me see whether my deployments are up. So I created two deployments, AKS Hello World 1, AKS Hello World 2. Let me see the service. Okay, we both have service up and running. So yeah, so I will just do port forward Hello World and then 8080. So this is the first service. You can see it's giving hello to Azure Kubernetes service. And then let's see the second service, which is nothing but 2. This is my second service. You can see casing is fine. So, so independently, my these two services are running now. The next example which I'm going to show is to reroute the same service on, I mean, the same load balancer request to multiple services, right? So this is my ingress. So what I'm doing, first of all, I'm calling the ingress and just saying the rewrite target is second dollar, not is nothing but the second argument. Okay, now there are two paths you can see. One is whenever you have a prefix something like this, just reroute to hello world one. If you have prefix something like this into your request, which is coming from a user, then reroute to this service. Now, if you have something like this, Grafana, suppose I have a Grafana service also running, and then route to Grafana. And then if you don't have anything other than this, please route to this. So basically, rerouting and then default routing also. This is a very interesting example. Now I'll just run this ingress to apply ingress to ignore that warning. Ingress to got created. Okay. Ingress got created. Let me see the logs of that ingress. Yeah, reload is happening. It is just reloading the configuration of ingress. It will take some time to get the address. So let's first of all understand this YAML file again. So independently, my both services were running, and I have the ingress controller up and running. So what I have done, I've created a ingress rule. What this rule is doing. So whenever I'm hitting this prefix, it will read out to me this service and another prefix with another service. That's the reason you can see the rewrite target is /2, nothing but $2. So what I'm saying, please rewrite my target from anything to dollar second target basically directly the second argument, sorry, and anything Grafana like this, move it to Grafana service. Anything other than that, default, move it to this. Okay. Okay, so I have my address up and running. I'll just simply say curl of. So this is the default one. Now I'll do a this hello world one. So you can see it is redirected to first service to second service. Grafana, the third service, and then anything default will go to default. Okay, so that is pretty much about this understanding. The third and final example is on that only. So let me not take that thing again. So this is the basic understanding of ingress control. I will not touch it further. So I'll just stop the video here itself. Okay. So yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe the channel, and please post your comments into the comment section for any further queries. Thank you for bye. Yeah, thanks. Bye bye.